So I want to speak to you about the Tallis Fantasia by Vaughan. This experience is about us creating magic and mystery. We want to stop people in their tracks. We want to make people cry and laugh. We want to bring people's emotions to the brim. And through a piece like this, we can provide an experience that helps us all face how we feel and be more at peace with our internal state. With our instruments, we are aiming to create a beauty of sound, a purity of sound, deep expression regardless of dynamic. When we play soft, we want to be whispering with such intensity and sincerity. We want to also develop a lusciousness in tone and in emotion. How much feeling can we pour into the notes we play and inside of our sound? We have the honour of being led by the phenomenal conductor and musician and most beautiful person, Karina.
It's important that even though we're not in a room together, that we can find a way to emulate that feeling and to recreate the feeling of playing in orchestra with a lot of other people around you. And the idea of following a conductor at the same time, kind of feeling the people around you, listening, using your ears as your number one ally in this situation. So really listening to what's coming in through the headphones and trying to blend into that while at the same time maintaining your own personal expression. And it's the idea of the balance between emoting yourself and playing the way that you believe the music should go and what you think it means, but also being able to follow the conductor and go along with what everyone's doing around you. And combining those things, there is a very happy marriage between those two things, but it's tricky to find. And so I encourage you to be very patient with yourselves and take the time to think about that, to figure it out, to try over and over again, and to really think about the feelings that you are transporting with this music, and think about your own feelings and the feelings that you want to put into this piece.
In this experience, perhaps even more so than if we had all of these musicians together in one place, we actually have the chance to understand something about the flexibility of time. When we're together, we have immediate issues of getting together. We also have spatial issues of so many people being very far away from the conductor. In this virtual workshop, we do not have those constraints. You will all be able to see the conductor right in front of you very clearly. You will have each one of your tutors, myself and Karina, discuss with you in detail the subtlety of a particular rhythmic component of classical music that allows for an ebb and flow, allows for a naturalness to how phrases rise and fall, allows for a randomness yet organization in the freedom of time. This will allow us to connect our sound to our breath, to connect the pace of music, to connect the shape to how our bodies move, and to absorb with extreme depth the central force through which our collective sound is channeled. To play the entire Tallis was going to be too long for this project, so we have taken the thematic material at the beginning and at the end. In the centre, we will be led by the phenomenal musician and cellist Robin Michael, who has a fascination for improvisation and harmony, growing up in a household that played and learnt jazz. He has taken a chord progression from the piece itself and created a base from which he will teach to you all how to improvise on a theme of Thomas Tallis.
We're going to add in a section where the music, we're going to have been in F minor, and we're going to end up in E minor in the actual real Vaughan Williams. And we're going to have a section where you will all get a chance to make something up on material that I'm going to teach you. It's going to be very, very simple, very straightforward. Now, why? There was a wonderful cello teacher, probably one of the most important cello teachers of the second half of the 20th century, William Pleath, who would always encourage his students, the moment they picked up their instrument, to make something up. Before they started with their scales, with their studies, with their unaccompanied Bach, with their sonatas, just spend 10 minutes doodling, if you like.
Vaughan Williams was so inspired by a melody that Thomas Tallis had written that he decided to write a whole new piece based on this one melody. And in the creative responses, we're going to be looking at two composers living in completely different times, one in the Tudor period and one in the more modern Edwardian period. But we're also going to be looking at the literature that was written at the beginning of the 1900s, because so much of it was about time travel. It was about reflecting on the past and using that knowledge of the past to inform a better future. So we're going to be asking you, what do you want for your future? And what do you want your world to look like in its future?
Let us practice patience in our sound, in our relationship to time, and sit deep inside the emotion of this phenomenal piece.